Welcome to Only a Podcast. Two blokes upside down and many miles from home talk about popular culture and unpopular culture too. Music, books, films, the news, what we had for dinner last night, anything goes. Apart from politics, probably. I am an antichrist. He is an anarchist. We are Only a Podcast. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. What was that weird music we heard at the start there, Captain?
I couldn't possibly, no. We've been wanting to do it for ages. I looked back in Instagram and when we first posted about, look, we've got our instruments out. Ooh, no.
Yeah,
and we're going to do a theme tune. But various things happened and all that. But now we've done one.
We have.
Loosely based on lots of things in blues canon.
The dead can't sue, so we should be all right.
No, that's true. John Lee Hooker's probably turning in his grave. But the members of ZZ Top are still alive. So if we can get done for ripping off Lagrange, then you'll know where we are, folks.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we are, as well as being among the world's leading podcasters, we're also very, very talented musicians.
God, yes.
We recorded a little new theme tune. Might do a few more, an outro maybe at some point. But I did the guitar and the Captain did the old harmonica, the old blues harp. It sounds quite good, I reckon. So let us know what you reckon, folks.
I've had worse results from studios I've paid money to record it. So
exactly,
I think it's good.
Yeah, all done in the spare bedroom. It's amazing what you can do these days, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So how you been, Captain? All right?
I've been all right. As I said earlier, I've still got a shoulder problem and it's giving me hassle, but we'll sort it out eventually. Apart from that, everything is fine. It's been raining a lot. I don't know how it's been down there, but
No, not raining too much. Good. It's been a bit more windy down here, and but it's warm. I think it was 20 degrees yesterday, which is pretty warm for down here this time of year. It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. So, what have you been up to?
Trying to find time to listen and watch things. We've got lots of family watching and listening, some of which we'll go into today, and others which just haven't had time to all sit around the table. I mean, there's only three of us. You'd think it'd be easy to get them all together, but it's not.
It's not. You can't make the planets align.
I can't do it tonight. I've got this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But anyway, we did get around to joining in on one or two things, which we'll go into in a bit.
Yeah, I've got culture catch-up perspective, I suppose. I finished a couple of shows that I've talked about before. So I was talking about a drama show thing that I was watching called Our House. That one where the woman comes home to find her house has been sold without her knowing. Got you into that. It's really good, actually. It's, very one of these British thrillers, It's basically a tale of blackmail and betrayal and all that stuff. So, well worth watching. That was. I liked that, Our House. Also got to the end of what's it called, Freeze the Fear with Wim Hof, the Iceman thing.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that was, at the end of the day, it was just another celebrity show, 6 celebrities being challenged to do stuff. But it's just fascinating stuff. I urge everyone to have a little look at Wim Hof. Just Google him and, it's interesting. It's really interesting. It's from him where I got my idea to do the cold showers, which, as I said, I've been doing for probably about 6 months now. I do a cold shower every day. It was the summer when I started. Oh, I'll tell you what. It's a bit chilly. I've moved, I'm a bit further out of town as well. The water's a bit colder up here, and it's
Do you want to get a plumber and get an outdoor one?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'll just go jump in the stream. But it's good. Feels good after it's done. Well, the first 10 seconds are the worst. Once that's done, you're all right. So I was staying there for about a minute and a half. It's good.
Screaming silently inside.
Screaming. Remembering when I used to have a willy. Sorry, listeners, you don't need. Hope you're not having your breakfast.
No.
So I finished that. I also watched, just sort of at a loose end, just wanted to watch something easy. So just surfing, I came across a documentary, I think it was on Netflix, about Dolly Parton. I don't know if you've watched that, have you?
It's been on the list for quite some time, but yeah. Good
documentary. What a formidable woman. I think we knew that anyway, but What a formidable woman she is. Give that a watch. It's pretty short and pretty easygoing. So, watch Dolly Parton. That was good.
I dug into Netflix in a spare moment when I was rejected by the rest of the family to watch some stuff. It was a good documentary on Netflix also about a guy called Ben Fong Torres, who was the editor of Rolling Stone at one point. And it's how he grew up as a Chinese immigrant in America and went through high school and did the school magazine and all those kind of writings that turned him out almost fully formed into the world of rock criticism when he got around to it. But he's a lovely chap, and it digs into briefly and not perhaps enough into the sort of a Chinese American scene in San Francisco through the years. But that was a good watch, and he's mates with, he was one of the ones that they all wanted him to review them, that kind of thing. So you could see him cuddling up to Elton John in the film and one or two others. He's a fantastic chap. If that sounds like it's your interest, then and dive in. It's really good.
Yeah, sounds like a good one. Never heard of him, to be honest, but yeah, they're often the most interesting ones, aren't they? The ones you've never heard of. Yeah, I think we've both dug into Obi-Wan Kenobi this week, haven't we?
We did. That's one we did get the family together. I don't know how you're going to go. What do I reckon? It remains. It remains to be seen if it's a slow burner or possibly more typically of these kind of limited series things, especially on Netflix, just slow. But something that might could have been done and dusted in like 2 episodes or a film, no less. It's interesting for who it is and what it is. Ewan McGregor's beard features quite a lot. I'm not going to go into any plot lines. There's obviously little hooks in there for Star Wars fans. I don't reserve judgment at the moment. It occupied an hour and a half last night over the first 2 episodes, and we'll see how it goes as to whether it gets any more exciting.
Yeah, I think a lot of the more recent Star Wars stuff has just been a bit long, but that seems to be the case with a lot of TV and film these days, doesn't it? It's just so long, and slow.
It's true.
I don't know why. They save themselves a bit of film. I guess
even the newer episodes of the actual triple trilogy or whatever you want to call it.
You could shave half an hour off them all, couldn't you?
Good moments, yeah. I know the best, in my humble opinion, Imho, Rogue One is the best of the recent ones.
Really good, isn't it?
Brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. And it's one of those ones that's kind of set in like one day. Or the whole thing happens in one day, doesn't it? Isn't it one of those?
It certainly gets on with it, basically. Yeah, there's not 10 years later.
No,
which there was last night,
For those that don't know, so Obi-Wan Kenobi is set in the period kind of after Luke and Leia were born. Spoiler alert, they're actually twins. For anyone that doesn't know. After they were born and taken off to safety somewhere. And Obi-Wan Kenobi just disappeared because things had gone a bit wonky with Anakin. It's sort of between that period and when the first original Episode 4 Star Wars appeared, when Ben was an old hermit and Luke Skywalker was a young man. So it covers that period. Well, I don't know if it's all of that period, but that's kind of where it is. But yeah, it's great. It's funny. You watch these new Star Wars things, and for me, it's one of my earliest memories was going to see the first Star Wars film at the cinema. It was the first time I ever went to the cinema, and seeing that first Star Wars movie. And I remember it vividly. I was about 8 years old. 77. Yeah, I was about 8, and I remember it vividly. I remember going into the foyer of the cinema. I'd never set foot in a cinema before, and I even remember the music that was playing. They had like background music playing, and it was ABBA, Take a Chance on Me. And to this day, I hear that song. I think of going to the Odeon, East Ham Odeon on Barking Road in London and seeing the first Star Wars film takes me right back. But yes, it's always been there in my life. Star Wars, it's always been there, and I don't know if there's anything else that has. And I think it'll probably be there till the day I die as well. I don't think Star Wars will ever end. And I can't think if there's anything else. There's things like soap operas and stuff like that, obviously. But I don't know if there's a movie franchise or TV series or anything that's been around my whole lifespan. There's bands, I suppose, of Rolling Stones and maybe one or two others. I don't know. But it's kind of always had a special place for me, Star Wars. But I know that's the case for millions of people. But I don't think it's ever going to end. So no, it'll always be there in some form or another. Because it's classic, isn't it? Good versus evil. It's always a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else caught your eye?
Ears, maybe. Ears. I think a couple of albums. There was a live performance in 2011 by Mavis Staples and the drummer of the band, Levon Helm, who was not too well at the time, but still great, I have to say. And the album of that is out now. It's called Carry Me Home, and it's full of blues and gospel and rock classics, and it's a quality performance. I saw Mavis here, 2011, 12-ish, with a crack band of LA blues musicians, one of whom I'd actually met before. And I just she was great, and this album is great, and everyone should give it at least one listen. It's completely joyful, slightly heartbreaking because Levon was not, as I say, not too well at the time. He's not around anymore, but what a great record! It's going to be in my. Does it qualify to be my best of year since it was originally done in 2011? I guess it does. And that other album, a throwback to the mid-'80s here, folks, by an assemblage of musicians called X Propaganda. That's propaganda with an X in front of it, one word. And strangely enough, it's Claudia and Suzanne from Propaganda and the producer of their Secret Wish album, Stephen Lipson. And they are now X Propaganda, and the new album is called The Heart is Strange. And if you've heard those hits like Jewel from Secret Wish, then it's just not going to be at all unfamiliar to you. It's just them. It's the band. They could have called it Propaganda. Really, they could have been a return of, and it is. It's great. Electropop, moody.
I know I've got to say you've
Teutonic.
Completely lost me there. I've no idea who you're talking about. You've completely lost me. Maybe I'll know some of the songs.
Right. Our Propaganda were on Trevor Horn's label ZTT, home of Frankie Goes to Hollywood, etc., etc. Yeah.
Maybe I'll recognise it if I hear some of it. I'll give it a listen.
I'm sure
afterwards.
you will.
Yeah.
If you play Propaganda Duel, Duel, you'll know because you'll have heard it a million times on the radio.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's just another one. It's a complete earworm, and I warn you not to listen to this one. Maybe you might. I heard it on the radio on 95 BFM, which is our local station, folks. And I do listen in the mornings to Rachel's show. And this is a track that was just nagging me, and we managed to hold our phones up to the speaker this morning and find out who it was. And it's a local DJ called. I'm not going to attempt to say what it really means, but it's spelled FCKCPS. Work it out yourselves, folks. Yep. And it's a tune called Holding Back, and it samples Mick Hucknall and Simply Red, which sounds extraordinarily. Yes, I know, but it's a sort of chill out club track, and it works surprisingly well. And I just can't get away from it now. It's done me. So yeah,
right, well, you better share that earworm and get it out there.
Is that going to be the best of my year as well? I don't know. I'll probably be still listening to it in December. So yeah, I'll probably be still hearing it. Maybe not listening to it.
Still humming it in the shower. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. I did listen to that Maybe Staples album that you sent over. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's just all sort of blues and soul standards, really, eh? Brilliant stuff. Great stuff. Love it. Yeah. I've really gotten into listening to that kind of music. I think since we started recording our theme music, I was listening to a lot of that kind of stuff just to get me in the mood. That sort of rhythm and blues kind of stuff. I love it. I really, really like that. It moves me, that kind of music. I wish I'd played it, in bands and stuff earlier. But who knows? Maybe I'll start a band one day doing that kind of stuff.
Well, I've done that.
I know you have. Yeah,
I've brought back all sorts of memories of various bands that I've been in, various places I've been. Yeah, great stuff. We had a couple of RIPs this week, which we'll just cover off quickly because I haven't really done any sort of obituaries on any of these people, but. We lost Ray Liotta. Great actor. I mean, it's Ray Liotta, isn't it? I saw someone shared that scene from Goodfellas where he goes and pistol whips that guy. Yeah. And it's terrifying. One of the greatest films ever made, by the way, I think, Goodfellas. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Yeah, got to be.
I think so.
Who else did we lose? Andy Fletcher from Depeche Mode. The quiet one, really, from Depeche Mode, died quite young. Which was, again, been going a long time. I don't know how he died, but yeah. And finally, another one that just came in yesterday, I think, was Patricia Brake. Did you see this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, most of you won't know who Patricia Brake is, an English actress, most famously known as Imogen. Was it Imogen?
Yeah.
Imogen, yeah. Fletcher's daughter in Porridge. She was in, I think, she's been in lots of things. One of those character actors.
Things.
Yeah, so we lost her as well. A few RIPs there. And on to the main stuff. So a couple of things have caught my eye this week, which I'll dive in. First one is these ABBA concerts. So universally well received, I think. I think people have generally really, really dug it. But
I noticed Alexis Petridis in The Guardian was 5 stars, and after 2 minutes you didn't realise you were at some kind of fake thing. It was a fantastic presentation, allegedly, and wow.
So what does this mean then for the future of ageing rock stars? We've talked about ageing rock stars before, haven't we? But they it's working from home, isn't it? They can
it is.
tour the world working from home. It's what does this mean for it's worked. Clearly, it's worked very, very well, and there's no reason why this can't be picked up and moved all around the world so they can do a world tour.
Yeah.
Are other bands going to do this? I mean, we've seen Gorillaz doing kind of stuff like that, and I'm sure there's been other artists that have done stuff, but they've at least been in the room.
I think it obviously helps if you've got giant pots of cash to generate the staggering spectacle that it obviously was. I don't quite think it's going to be in any way accessible, but they obviously had no compunction to get together in person. Why should they? They've all fallen out with each other for a long time. Yeah. If you can don the suit and get the graphic scanner out and turn yourself into an avatar of your past self.
Avatar, as they're calling them.
Avatars.
Not to be confused with abattoir. That's different.
No. Yeah.
But I guess that technology exists now. So, I guess that technology exists before. They've used it from movies, right, or video games and stuff. So, but maybe other bands will be like, oh, we could do that. Go a couple of weeks' work in a studio and do a world tour.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see?
Didn't Queen try? Did they actually regenerate Freddie Mercury at one point in some kind of holographic presentation?
Yeah, I think.
But obviously,
right.
the technology might have moved on even in the past 5 years. The way processing power doubles every year or whatever that law is.
That's right.
It's maybe even easier now to do that kind of thing than when the early attempts were made. So
because didn't we have who else was it recently? Was it Frank Sinatra or someone? Someone was duetting with Frank Sinatra on stage. I can't think who it was. Not sure about dead people doing it.
Would you go? Would you go?
Yeah, you would. I mean, if the Rolling Stones were going to be at our local arena, but not really at our local arena, would you go? Well, couldn't a band like the Rolling Stones even do that? Because it's so energetic. Mick running up and down the runway, and that wouldn't work, would it? No. Unless you had 3D goggles on. That might be the next. Or did the ABBA thing have 3D glasses? I don't know if it did or not.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. So it only worked for certain artists, I suppose. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to get. Are you going to? Is there going to be any kind of interaction? You get the AI built in to realise that the audience have gone to sleep, so just cheer them up a bit, or something like that.
Yeah, or could it be done live?
With the rather than kind of machine interaction. I see. Yeah,
it's kind of pre-recorded, right? I guess it's pre-recorded, obviously, and they're just playing it back. But could it be done live? So the band are actually in a warehouse, in a studio somewhere, and they could actually interact with the audience and talk to them. Wow, yeah. Right, leave that with me. I'm going to work on that. I'll get me slide rule out. Figure something out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. And the other thing is the new biopic docudrama series thingy about the Sex Pistols called Pistol.
Yes.
Which is hot off the press. It was only released yesterday. So we're finger on the pulse here, which is good. I have managed to watch the first 2 episodes. I don't think you've managed to go there yet, have you, Captain?
Not yet. But I have thoughts.
Yeah.
So carry on.
Good. Well, okay. Well, it's I think 6-part series on Disney Plus. It's based on the book, the sort of autobiography, Lonely Boy by Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols, the guitarist. So it centers around him and his story. So, you've got to be very careful with these things because it's directed by Danny Boyle, by the way. So big name at the helm. Is it a documentary? Are you there to be informed? Is it a film? Are you there to be entertained? Is it something in between? I mean, we've seen with things like Rocket Man, that blurred that line brilliantly, I thought, between fact and fantasy, if you like. I don't think Pistol quite goes that far. There are certainly bits in it that are very sort of artsy. And there's a great scene. Chrissie Hynde features quite heavily in it, and the character and the actress actually that plays Chrissie Hynde, they're great. But yeah, there's a scene where she's singing Starman with Steve Jones. I don't know if that ever really happened. Obviously, this is based on the book. This isn't necessarily exactly what happened. But yeah, Chrissie Hynde's in there. You've got Tallulah Riley as Vivienne Westwood. Maisie Williams is playing Jordan. So all the names you can imagine are in there. And I saw in another review, it's in rock biopics. In fact, any biopic really, they have to kind of really blatantly signal certain things, and it happens in this as well. So it's you don't have time to introduce characters. Everything has to be condensed really quickly. So someone walks in and, you must be Billy Idol that I've heard about, oh, that must be Susie off of Susie and the Banshees. But yeah, they're all in this. They're all in there. The Billy Idol's in there. Susie and the Banshees are in there. Don Letts is in there. Obviously, Malcolm McLaren is played by Thomas Brodie Sangster, who you'll all know his face. He played the dude in Queen's Gambit, and he was a child actor. He was in loads of stuff when he was a kid. He was in Love Actually.
Love Actually.
Nanny McPhee.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah.
Say that again?
Yes, Love Actually, as I found out.
That's right. He was a little kid in Love Actually. So he plays Malcolm McLaren. He does a pretty good job. The main members of the band are, to me, unknown actors. Toby Wallace, Anson Boone. I don't know any of these people. But the guy that plays John Lydon seems pretty good, actually. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm just kind of going with it going with it from that perspective, it's just really, really enjoyable. I'm really hooked after 2 episodes. They've just got to their first gig at the end of episode 2, and all the the Bromley Massive are all there, and it's about to kick off. I'm really enjoying it, and I don't know what other critics are saying about it, and I don't really care what critics are saying about it. I'm just enjoying it. I don't think I'm being very well informed about what really happened in those times, but it's enjoyable so far.
That's fun.
I was looking at a clip just before we started recording this. I never got to the end, but it was John Lydon was being interviewed on this morning on TV in the UK just yesterday, I think. He's not very happy. He
doesn't like it. No,
he's been stiffed a little bit. He never gave his permission, and he's been done over. Really, he's not very happy about the whole thing. So see how that pans out. I think there's legal action going on and all that kind of business. So so I would recommend it so far. Having seen 2 episodes, definitely worth a watch. It's quite exciting. Yeah, you should.
I'm normally fairly wary about these things, especially if there's sort of a straight thing going on. I thought about biopics that I've dared watch and have watched, and the few that I enjoyed generally had some weird slant going on. And you mentioned Rocket Man, and that did have fantasy sequences. Very short ones, let's say. And also, I think the thing about that one was it did reveal a part of Elton John, i.e. his gay side, that wouldn't have maybe been done in other circumstances. They went there, in inverted commas. A straighter biopic might not have been quite so investigative of that side of his life, but that was more interesting because that wasn't I didn't really know about. Well, obviously, I knew about it, but I didn't really know any of the.
But it tied in with the book, didn't it? The autobiography, which I'd read before the film came out. Have you read the book, by the way?
No, I've not.
You should. You should. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
So, having said that, that I like the ones where something different is going on. Case in point, there was hardly a biopic, but. The film I'm Not There, I don't know if you've seen that one. It's described as inspired by the music and many lives of Bob Dylan. And it's a set of unlikely characters sort of do mini episodes within the film on sort of aspects of Dylan's character. Kate Blanchett is one. It's really well done. So Christian Bale, Richard Gere, Ben Whishaw, for goodness sake. You would not normally think associate them with Dylan at all. But I looked up the facets of his characters: the poet, the prophet, the outlaw, the fake, the rock and roll martyr, and the star. And they pick someone to expand on little stories that show those aspects of him. And great, so completely different. It's nothing. Will you learn about the life of Bob Dylan? Well, only obliquely.
That's the point.
You won't come out of it. Yeah,
it can just be entertainment, can't it? With some nice music.
The more sort of some of the. I Walk the Line, Johnny Cash one. I quite enjoyed that. That was straight.
That was
great performances and stuff.
Superb. I mean, they couldn't have. They couldn't have got it better. Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to go through a few here that you can comment as well, because I know you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely bloody loved to see Sacha Baron Cohen do that one. Instead of, but it was. I think I read that he was unhappy with the sort of where it ended and would have liked to explore
later on.
Sad would it have been, more of the demise of Freddie rather than.
It's a sequel right there, isn't it?
Sort of ending it early.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was
ended on a big high, didn't it?
Done, but the story that they, let's do Live Aid, let's be great, whilst in the knowledge that he was already ill. But Sacha Baron Cohen allegedly swerved it because he wanted them to dig a bit deeper.
Okay.
And I thought that was an okay film. Didn't grab me so much.
Agreed.
But pretty straight. No fantasy sequences didn't get me at all. Other things didn't quite ring true. You might not have seen I Saw the Light, the Hank Williams one, with Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston in the role, certainly the right shape to play Hank Williams.
Yeah, certainly a likeness.
Maybe not the right man, but sometimes these films of that era look altogether a bit too glamorous. I mean, I know they've got to make it good looking for the cinema, but I can't imagine that be suited as he was in the later days in his garish stuff with the music notes on it and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of that time was really, how can I put it, like scuffing around the south of America.
Yeah.
In the deprived areas. But there wasn't enough of that in that particular thing for me. And here's another one. Here's another one that is cinema verite, as it were, and not quite a biopic. Oh, no. That's Slade in Flame. It took me back to this one in the 70s, which at the height of their success, they thought, right, do a film. And the film is basically about the band Flame, which is them, and it's the rise and fall, and it is the fall. And probably so well done that it affected their own careers in a way that nobody ever quite looked on. Certainly I didn't. It's Slade as Cheeky Chappies ever after that.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy stuff, wasn't it? Yeah.
They could be serious, and it all falls to bits. And you kind of wondered if there was more of them that we hadn't seen because of the sort of accuracy of Slade in Flame. I would... I own it. I own the album as well because it's great.
Did you lend me the DVD once? I think
Possibly.
you did. Somebody lent me the DVD of that.
Yeah, I do have it. Yeah. When it came out, I was overjoyed to see it had been remastered and put out on a DVD.
Yeah.
And here's one that maybe goes too far, and I'm really worried about this one. The new upcoming Elvis film by Baz Luhrmann.
It's not going to be straight, is it? It's Baz Luhrmann.
That's going to be. We're about things being too colourful. That one is going to be far too colourful. I don't know.
Campus Christmas, that one,
but it's going to be overblown, and the things he's going to do with the music worry me greatly.
Yeah.
But I read a few reviews and people were complaining about there's too much Colonel Tom Parker in it. But that's the story. That is the story,
Yeah.
How this very strange character controlled Elvis and would let him do all the things he wanted to do, and it was a giant money-making machine for him. I'm worried about that one. And what I'm not worried about, or less worried about, I'm gonna drop this exegesis going on here because it's getting a bit long, but there is another upcoming film which is the biography of Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, we've had one of these before.
Yeah.
With Dennis Quaid.
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah. Yeah. And but this one is going to be done by Ethan Coen, the Coen brothers. Yeah. And I love them. And I like their things. And I think that could be just weird enough to be, to put a spin on Jerry Lee's tussle between a devil and rock and roll.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even if it's dead straight, it'll be weird enough, won't it?
Yes.
If it's factually accurate, it'll be completely weird. So,
his underage wife and all those kind of odd things. Deeply strange chap, I think, Jerry Lee, despite being
still with us,
some of the greatest rock and roll songs ever made.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
He still is. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a long ramble, but some of the things I like about biopics, some of the things I definitely hate, and occasionally when those things are usurped or broken by films that do something that I think is good.
There's been so many, haven't there? I'm trying to think of some. I watched the Jimi Hendrix one, the one with Andre 3000 in it. Did you see that one?
No.
The guy from Outkast, Andre 3000, he played Jimi Hendrix. That was all right. That wasn't bad. I think you can find that on Beamer.
See, I'm probably
Beamer
too
Film.
wary.
I think I watched it on there.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's free. I am, as I said, wary, even having mentioned just lots of ones that I've seen. The Doors, that was another one. The Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I never saw that one. I don't think.
It's Ethan Coen. Ethan Coen probably could have made a good job of that one. You know, also mystical, strange, weird, drugged fellow.
Yeah, so listeners, rock biopic. Well, not rock, any biopics, really. Any real,
any biopics of anybody.
Yeah, films based on real life or TV series based on real life. Let us know. Maybe we'll try and compile a great big list and try and get through it all. That could be a challenge, couldn't it? And
could be.
There'll be more we haven't seen than we have, that's for sure. All right. I reckon we've just about done enough there, don't you?
I think it should be good. I only really had one more thing to mention, but we can come to that next time.
No, go for it.
Well, it's another upcoming. It's basically Taika Waititi's next Thor film, Thor Love and Thunder, which the trailers are out and we'll put in the links. And having seen the first one and having seen 20 minutes of the ones previous to the ones that he didn't do because they were too po-faced and I really didn't like them, this one looks full of humour.
Return to form.
And, well, no, I didn't really break his form, did he? But I should be watching that one, and we'll probably be going to the cinema to do it.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. Just one last thing, really, about you all heard about monkeypox. Of course, it reminded me. I saw this statistic. It said that humans eat more bananas than monkeys. And I thought about it. I thought, you know what, that's true, because I eat a lot of bananas, but I can't remember the last time I ate a monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yeah, funny that, yeah. Right, okay. So let's go, shall we? I've got work to do. So thanks for listening, everyone. Send us in your biopic stuff. Send us in anything you want to send us. Like, subscribe, give us thumbs ups and stars and all that good stuff, because it all helps.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the other side, folks. Say goodbye, Captain.
Goodbye, Captain.
See you later, folks. Bye.
Kia ora whanau. You've been listening to Only a Podcast. If you'd like to get in touch and share your feedback and ideas, we'd love to hear from you. Go to onlyapodcast.com, or you can find us at Only a Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or via our Facebook page. Remember, it's only a podcast.